So I'm just making my way to my peg for the next 24 hours, and I'm going to be overnight fishing for some monster carp and possibly some catfish. But I've got a little walk ahead of me, so I'll speed you guys up. And I am now at my peg. It's a little walk away from the car park, but this peg's mine for the next 24 hours. Now, I've got everything hauled down here, so I've just got to set my bivvy up now, and then I'll get the rods out afterwards. So I won't bore you with every detail, and I'll get this set up now. And there we go, absolutely everything's now set up, minus the rods of course, but I'll get onto that in a jiffy. Mainly, I've got shelter now, just in case it starts to rain, like it's forecasted to do, unfortunately. That's the only reason I put the bivvy up first. But seeing as the bivvy's now up, that's the biggest thing set up, I can now get onto the rods. So let's do that. The rod pod there is now out, and all the alarms are on, but they're not turned on yet. I've just got to set my rods up and chuck them out now. I've got my 3 big rods down here, and I'm hoping at least one of these will catch me a carp tonight. I rigged them all up earlier at home, so on these 2, I've got inline leads on, and then I've got some spinner rigs on these 2, with a manila pop-up and a pink pop-up, just to experiment the colours to see what the carp will go for. And then on my 3rd rod, the big Daiwa one here, I've just got a standard hair rig on that, and I'll pop a couple of boilies on in a moment. First, I've got to deal with the PVA bags and all that, so I'll sort that out now. First rod I'm going to be setting up is the one with the manila pop-up on. I've never actually used this rod before, or this reel, so I'm kind of excited to see how it does. But I'll knock a PVA bag up for this thing now, and get it cast out into a good location. Here I've got my first PVA bag knocked up, the inline leads in there with the pop-up, and then I've just put a bunch of these sticky bloodworm pellets in there, loaded that to the brim, so this should definitely attract a carp with all the scent going on in there. Let's get this first one cast out then. Right, so as I'm casting this, to my left in the lilies, there's a massive carp who's just jumped out of the water twice, so I might have to try and get a rod in the lilies. But first, let's focus on getting this out. There we are, that was a decent cast right in the middle of the lake. That alarm is now on and the line is tight, so that's ready to catch me a fish. Real quick, what I was on about that carp jumping, there's a bunch of dead lilies here, which I would get snagged in if I casted anyone near them. But a carp just jumped out there twice in the water and he looked massive. So here I've got rig number 2 ready to go out. This one's got the pink pop-up on, and I've just knocked up the same type of PVA bag on this, with a bunch of them bloodworm pellets. So I'll toss this one out now. Now with this one I'm going to go in the middle of where I've casted this one out. So let's get that done. That does me. Now I'll chuck out the 3rd rod. And now on this one I'm using boilies. These ones here to be precise. And here's the rig right here. It's very dark to be honest with you, but I've made a PVA mesh bag, just loaded with a couple of boilies and a couple of pellets. So now I'll get this one tossed out. As you can see, it's getting quite dark outside as well now. That's because sunset's in literally 15 minutes time, so it's a good job I've got everything set up already. But let's get this cast right out now. With this one, there's a little alleyway down there in the water sort of, so I'm going to cast it down there and hopefully whip something out from it. That was perfect. Now I'm ready for what the night brings me. Seeing as it's my 3rd time night fishing this place, I really do hope I get lucky and whip out a lovely big carp in the evening. But I am here tomorrow as well, all day pretty much. So if I don't get one in the night, not to worry, I'll probably get one tomorrow morning. Or afternoon, you never know. Now I don't have an awful lot of daylight left, so with the light I've got left, I'm going to cook my dinner in. So I'm going to whack the cooker on real quick. And I've brought with me some chicken kebabs and a burger, I think. So I'll get them on the cooker now. But yeah, I'm dead chuffed that all the rods are all set up now. And they're all in 3 decent locations, so before I put my food in, I'll just show you where I've cast them out. I haven't actually showed you yet. The one on the very end here, that's just around about there in the middle, and then the middle one is over by that tree, but in the middle sort of. So I've put them both in the deeper end of the lake, and then this 3rd one here is right the way down there, again in the middle. And with them locations, there's a very high chance I'll actually catch a fish. But now let's get my dinner on, because I'm really hungry. On goes the cooker, and I'll whack the pan on there and get it heating. Now I've prepared these kebabs at home, chicken kebabs, and they look banging to be honest, so I'll whack them on the pan now and get them cooked. Now it's got really dark in the last 5 minutes. I don't know where the daylight went, but I'm still cooking. I'm just gonna have to cook in the dark, unfortunately. I believe these are ready though. The pan's actually really hot because it's cast iron. It burnt my hand just, but they look cooked to me. They're all white, and I probably ain't gonna get food poisoning, so I can eat them now. They look absolutely delicious, to be honest with you. I'm gonna have a bite of this one and see how it is. That's really good, to be honest with you. Okay, so I put them back on the pan. Long story short, the one that I bit into was cooked, and then the next one I bit into was completely pink on the inside. So they're back on cooking now, and this time I'll make sure they're cooked all the way through. Okay, they're actually cooked now, so they're not going to kill me if I bite into them. So I'm going to tuck into these, and then afterwards I'm going to make my burger. I've ate them now, I've just cleaned my plate, so I'm ready to put on the burger. But can I just show you how dark it has got in literally 10 minutes? Look at that out there, it's pitch black already. And this is what it was like 10 minutes ago. Crazy how fast the sun drops now. It's time to turn on the cooker again, so I'll just flip the gas valve and then wait for that to come on down there. anytime now. And there we go. Gas is now on again. I'll give it like 2 seconds for the pan to heat up, because it heats up dead fast because it's cast iron, so it just absorbs all the heat, but the entire thing does. Hence why I burnt my hand earlier. But I can probably put the burger on now. It's already that hot from earlier. Here we go then. Let's whack that on there. It ain't sizzling yet, so it's not hot enough, but oh well. I'll let that cook on there for 10 minutes or so, and I'll get that down me. And then after that, I'll just wait the night out. Hopefully get a couple of bites from them rods over there. I would absolutely love if I got one, but you never know. We'll just have to wait and see. There we go then, burger's all done. And to be honest, it looks quite nice. Anything cooked on that pan out there, it always turns out really good. Let's give this burger a try though. Absolutely lovely. Okay, so now I've had my dinner, I've washed my pan up and all that. It's even darker than what it was just, to be honest. You can barely see me on camera without the torch. But I'm going to get ready for bed now. I'm going to set my sleeping bag up, shut the tent door, because it's getting a little bit nippy. It's not that cold though, to be honest. It's actually really warm out, but I can feel the temperature starting to drop now, so I'm going to shut the door to trap all the heat in. So yeah, I'll shut this door now and I'll wait for the rods somewhere over there. You can't even see them. Let me go over to them real quick. 3 rods over here. They're actually looking really cool. This one's a new reel, actually. I haven't showed you yet. It's a pretty neat reel. So hopefully I can catch a carp on my new reel tonight. That would be nice. But any of the rods will do. So yeah, I'll leave them rods. I'll go inside. I've got the bite indication on in here as well, so if I get a bite, I'll know about it. But yeah, I'll pick the camera up in about an hour or so. Right, it's like 10 o'clock in the evening right now. I've been sat here for 3 hours and I've not heard a peep off of the rods. So I think I'm going to put the camera down for the evening. I'm going to get me an early night so I can get up early in the morning. And yeah, I'll pick the camera up if I get any bites in the night, or even better, I get a fish hooked. I hope that's the case though. But for now, if I don't see you in the night with the fish, I'll see you in the morning. Okay, so it's now the morning. Absolutely nothing came from last night. In fact, it was raining most of the night. But unfortunately, I had no carp whatsoever hooked. Maybe that story will change today and I'll get one hooked, but last night was a no-go. I'm just going to open up the bivvy and get out here. Quite a nice morning actually, it's not that cold at all. As you can see, nothing's changed with the rods. They're all still in the exact same positions I left them in. But now that I'm up, there's 2 things I've got to do this morning. Number 1 is bring in maybe 2 of the rods, put some fresh PVA bags on them and get them back out in a new location for the day ahead. And second thing, I need to cook my breakfast. I think what I'm going to do is I'll do the rods first. So I'm going to bring in the one on the end here, and then I'm going to bring in the middle one as well. And they're both the ones with the spinner rigs on and the pop-up boilies. I'm just going to grab this rod then off the alarm and bring it in real quick. The lead on the end is so heavy. It feels like something's on, but it's not really. In fact, I'll tighten the drag a bit and it'll come in easier. But there we go. Boilie's still on, everything's still on, but no fish. I've got me the PVA bag out now, so I'll just unclip my box and get the pellets out. Here they are. Right, that's all I need pretty much for the PVA bag. Rig's on the floor here, so I'll get going. Put a little bit of pellet at the bottom there. Now I'll put the lead on top of that, lean it to one side, put a little bit more in, then put the boilie in, and then top it off, twist it together and chuck it out. That's completely ready now to be cast back out. Here goes nothing then. I've got my rig prepared and I'm going to cast it right out to a different location this time. I'm going to go more to my left than straight on, so let's give it a shot. There we go, perfect. Now that's that rod out in a bit of a better location. Now I did say I'd recast 2 rods out, so I've done the one and I was going to do the middle one, but I'll do that in a moment. I'm going to leave it a little longer, I think, and I'm going to make my breakfast before anything else. So let's get that cooker out again and we'll get the flame started on this thing. There we go. Now get the pan on the heat now. I've got some eggs and some bacon for my breakfast, so I'm going to whack that on the heat now and get that all served up. Well, that's that now all served up. I'll get that down my neck and I'll go and cast that rod out again. Only thing is, it's starting to rain now. That's why I've come in the bivvy. I hope it doesn't stay like it. Well, that was a lovely breakfast. It's just a shame because out there it's absolutely chucking it down with rain now. I say chucking it down, it's not heavy rain, but it will be in the next hour, I'd say. You may be able to see it on the top of the water there. It's coming down fast, but not very fast. Hopefully it stays this way because it's not so bad. For all I know, it could be a blessing that it's raining, because every time it rains at different ponds, I always seem to catch a carp. So this might very well be a good thing, and it'll bring some of the carp out. We'll see anyway. I'm going to be staying for a couple more hours. I reckon I'll start to pack away at 2 o'clock-ish. And it's 11 o'clock now, believe it or not. I got up quite late, to be honest with you. I slept in. So yeah, that's leaving me with a good 3 hours to catch me a fish. So let's do it. It stopped raining for a moment, so I'm going to come outside for a little bit while it stops. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention yesterday, I have set the net up, by the way, just so you know. It's in the bush here. Big, massive net. That's all ready for if I do catch a fish. But honestly, I think what I'm going to do now is, whilst it stopped raining, I'm just going to bring the middle rod in and get that chucked back out. So here goes nothing. Let's pick it up on there. Oh, that's very loud. Oh, tighten the drag a lot and then bring it in. Feels very heavy on the end again. That's just because of the lead. Oh, I've got to be careful bringing this in though, because I can't cross my lines. Oh, there we go. That's in now. I'll get it baited back up and chuck it out again. Here we are then. Here's the next bag set up. I'll get this one tossed out. Here goes nothing then. I'll just give this one a big chuck over there. There we go then, that's all the rods sorted now. I'm just going to go and take a seat back in the bivvy now, because why not? I've decided I'm going to stay till 2 o'clock and it's 11:30 right now, so that leaves me with 2.5 hours. Now there's a good chance I'll end up catching a fish in the next 2 hours. I guess you could say the conditions are right. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, the temperature's just right for the carp. Now obviously it is raining, it's off and on out there, but that's not a bad thing either. I seem to catch most of my carp in the rain anyway. The only thing is, it's really hard getting these big carp to actually take your bait, because they're so used to being caught. They get used to these things, and they're more cautious of what they eat. So you've just got to wait till there's one that's dumb enough to bite it, come past. I've been in the bivvy a little while now, because it's absolutely hammering it down outside. I had to go out at one point because my umbrella blew away again. That thing's so unreliable. I wedged it right in the ground last night as well, but still it decides to blow off. And it almost went in the water, so I got lucky and caught it just in the nick of time. But if I unzip this real quick, you can see it's still raining outside. Doesn't look it on camera actually, but it is. In fact, I thought one of my rods had gone off about 20 minutes ago, because the little sensor down there was notifying me that something was on. And I look outside, all excited and everything, about to click record on the camera, and it was a bloody swan. A swan had pulled my line and made me think I had something on. I've just come outside for a moment though, because the rain has died off a little bit. It's still raining, but just lightly. But if you look down there, the water's like crystal clear. I can see right to the bottom there, and I can see to about there where the end of my rod is, but then it goes dark. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It might mean that the carp aren't very active in the lake, to be honest with you, because usually when they're very active, the water's a bit murky. But it's getting to that time of year now where the carp do start to become a lot less active, because of the winter obviously. That's not to say you can't still catch them though. Like, I guarantee in this section where I am right now, there's at least 3 or 4 carp. Obviously you can't see them, but there probably is. And they're obviously just not bothered about feeding, because if there was, they would have took my baits by now. So what I'm going to do to try and get them feeding is I've bought a tub of particle bait with me and my catapult, so I'm going to catapult a bit of bait out around about where my rods are cast out. So let's do that now. There we are, I've got some in the catapult right now, so let's get it flinged out. Now I've just chucked out about 10 catapults worth of particle bait around about where my 3 rods are cast out. So that's plenty of bait, and it's definitely enough to attract some carp over. In fact, one's just jumped right over there by that big fallen tree. That's a good sign actually, because my rod with the pink pop-up on, that's cast over there. So I've seen a little bit of action now at least. Just something to mention as well. Last night, no one caught at the pond. Absolutely no one. So it ain't just me. No one's caught this morning as far as I know as well. It's because the lake is just, it's a really tough lake to fish, this lake is. Obviously this is my 5th time here now, and this is my 4th time night fishing the place. And I've blanked every single time. I think the first time I came here, I bought my pole and I caught like a roach. But that's the only thing I've ever caught here. The carp are really tough to catch, and the catfish as well. And that's why I keep coming back to the place, because I really just want to get lucky and eventually catch one out of here. Because I've seen photos of them, the carp in the place, and they're lovely. They're massive. All of them are over 20 pounds. And you see them in the people's hands, and they're like stunning fish, and I really want to catch one for myself, and that's the only reason I keep returning to this place night fishing. I will go elsewhere eventually, but until I catch something here, I'm not going to go anywhere else night fishing. Another thing about this place, there's 2 lakes. There's this one, which I believe is about 8 acres, and that's pretty big to be fair. And then there's one all the way down there. There's a gap in between this one, and there's another lake, which I've never fished that one, so I might have to get on that one eventually. Apparently the carp in that one are a lot easier to catch, because it's a bit of it's only like 3 acres that one is. It's a lot smaller than this one. But I do believe that the carp in that lake over there are a lot smaller than the ones in here. There is still monsters in there, but there's also, like, you know, your 5-10 pounders. But maybe I'll have to give that lower lake a go sometime soon and give this top lake a break. Last night I accidentally dropped one of my PVA bags in the water right here, and all the pellet bait that was in the PVA bag is still there. You kind of see it on camera. There's a big circle of it around about there. But seeing that's given me confidence. That will present the hook bait really well. You know, the bait's gone into a perfect circle. Your lead would be in the middle of that, and the spinner rig would just pop the bait up right above it. So that will present the rig amazing for a carp to see, or even a catfish. Just got to imagine I've got 3 of them little circles of baits out there somewhere. It's only a matter of time before I catch. I'm down to half an hour left of the session now. An hour's gone by really fast, and to be honest, this whole session's gone by really fast. I don't know why. I mean, I've been in the bivvy most of the time because the weather's crap. Like, it's just chucking it down again now. You can probably see it even better on the water this time. It's typical as well. I've got half hour left and I need to pack away and everything now, so ugh. It just starts raining the second I need to pack up, doesn't it? And now, seeing as I've not got too long left, I'm going to start packing a few things away. I've already made a start by putting a load of stuff under my brolly edge to keep it out of the rain. Obviously I've got to put my sleeping bag away and put this out there too. And then I'm going to have to put the bivvy down in the rain. That's going to be fun. Alright then, I've got this sleeping bag away now. And that's pretty much everything. It's just the bed chair now, and then the bivvy, and I'm ready to shoot off. Apart from the rods, actually. I do forget about the rods, but I'm leaving them out until last minute anyway. So I'm going to make a start on popping this bivvy down. Hopefully I don't get too wet. Right, so the weather was good to me when I was putting the bivvy down. It actually didn't rain once. And as you can see, it's now in the big bag down there. But I'm going to have to start getting some of the gear hauled down back to the car now. Sadly, meaning my session's come to an end. But that also means I'm going to have to bring in all 3 of my rods now, because my time here is up. So I'm just going to get all of this onto the trolley. In comes the first rod. This is the one I put in all the weeds, so it's tangled a little bit at the moment. But there we are, that one's all the way in now. Now I'll get the 3rd rod out, because I haven't even touched this one since I cast it out earlier on. But yeah, nothing was on this either. This one didn't have much luck at all. None of my rods have, to be fair. And last but not least, the middle rod with the pink pop-up on. I'm really surprised this one didn't get me anything, to be honest with you. I thought it would, because it had a really bright pop-up on it. And pink ones usually do alright, to be fair, but this session was just a different story, I guess. I'm just putting the rod pod down now, so I'll turn off the bite sensor thing and put all the alarms away. That's that sorted. Here's the first load of stuff to take to the car. I'm just going to make my way down now. Funnily enough, the peg I'm at is the one that's farthest away from the car park. It's a good walk away. So this trolley's definitely needed. Alright, I'm back up now, and I'm back up for the last time. I've just got all my rods tied up there. The last bit of stuff is on the trolley, ready to go, and I'm about to leave this peg behind. The peg that I fished in this video, I actually fished about 4 months ago now, the first time I night fished this place, and it's definitely one of my favourite pegs on the lake. I absolutely love it. It's so peaceful up here. Look, I'm just in the middle of nowhere. You can kind of see it better now it's daytime. There's no other pegs around, really. And the fishing's usually the best up this end of the pool, but today's a different story, obviously. But I've had a good time overall. It's just really nice being out night fishing. So yeah, even though I didn't catch, it's still been great, and I hope you guys enjoyed the watch. But sadly, that's all I've got for you now. So please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications down below. Become a member of the channel to help support fun videos like this, so I can get more of them done. Follow my Instagram, wolf_fishing. Link for that's in the description. That's all I've got for you all in today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, but I'll see you all at the next one. Peace for now.